Guy Live, everyone. It's time. DGL 28. That's more than half a year that we've been doing this shit, y'all. Jamie, you're here. Murph, I don't know who that is. I imagine it's an F1 driver of some kind.
It's an F1 meter. It's the coolest thing I could find, the fastest. But yeah, I'm going Evu style today because I don't have access to a mic, so I can't use my computer. So you're gonna have to look at Sergio Perez for this entire show, which I think is gonna be okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, IDEK, the 1 minute late start was due to Murph sorting out that profile picture. So it's all his fault as usual. Yeah, but that's kind of the rundown there. Hi Lexi, we love that everybody's here. We got Laz here, we got Kyle, we got Young Shark
on John.
We got Anjan, we got Michael, we got Rasselhaas, we got it here.
Yeah,
we're doing Dumb Guy
everyone's
Live.
here for Dumb Guy Live. So it's the most exciting time of the week.
I love fucking hosting a show. I do. It's great. It's fucking great. All right, y'all.
Don't you be doing your accents again? You got your Twitter banned for doing accents.
Yeah, I went on Twitter and I did accents all night, and then I woke up and I was suspended forever, which was very annoying.
New Zealanders got you.
Yeah, they were mad. They were like, he knows too much about. They were like, because I pointed out there's a ton of Aussie New Zealand people in AEW for some reason, and they were and I guess they were like, no, there's not. Don't even like think about it because it's not accurate. So I'm gonna have to report you to Elon Musk, and that's kind of what's gonna happen there. So yeah, but yeah, so we're
there are a lot of memories on that account. It kind of hurts that it's gone.
Yeah, it's annoying. It's stupid, but I immediately I'm seriously like 20 followers away from how many I had before.
Yeah, but you don't have like the legendary 3 years of tweets that you also had. It's just the worst part.
Yeah, I had good tweets, but it's okay. It's you know what it is. It was all good. Hello, my Portuguese friend. I will never pronounce your name correctly.
Joao Shakira.
Yeah, very nice. He's like Scottish. Joao Shakira.
Joao Shakira. Oh, that's my best.
I gotta be honest. Portuguese sounds insane to me.
It sounds. I remember a Brazilian person describing Portuguese as Spanish with marbles in your mouth.
That's exactly what I was gonna. Maybe I heard it from some of the same thing, but that's exactly what it sounds like. It's like and but there's like harsh synonyms or syllables too. So anyway, we got Scarecrow here too. We got it. Hi everybody. All right, y'all. Let's get in. Would you guys like to talk some wrestling a little bit?
Talk about the best of the super fucking juniors.
Let's do it. I thought the tournament got so good towards the end there. The last few nights, the semis and then into the finals, I thought were all excellent. Mm-hmm. And yes, your 2023 has predicted best of the Super Juniors champion is Master Wato.
I'm hyped about this.
He defeated Titan in the finals of the best of the Super Juniors at I believe that was at Ota Ward in the main event there. They defeated Mike Bailey and El Desperado respectively in the semis at Yo Yogi the 2 nights prior. So first of all, I think, what do you guys want to do? You guys want to talk about semis first and then get into the finals, or do you just want to sort of give? All right, let's do that. Okay, so yes, as said, the semis were the first match was Master Wato defeating Mike Bailey in Yo Yogi. I thought this match was great. I thought this was the best singles match of Master Wato's career up until the match he had 2 nights later.
I was about to stop you there.
Yep, exactly. And I was just so impressed. I mean, Mike Bailey for me was the MVP of the tournament. You could definitely make a case for Hiromu, maybe to a lesser extent Desperado and Wato and Titan, but for me it was all about Mike
obviously
Bailey.
Say that Bushi was the worst of the Super Juniors.
Bushi was again as the worst of the Super Juniors, but Mike Bailey was so great. I need him to be in a permanent presence in New Japan.
I need him to get the fuck out of that purgatory promotion. Just get out of there. You're too good for there. Let like Steve Cutler run on top, please. I don't need
Impact had a good show this weekend.
If it was my backyard, I'd close the blinds. Like legitimately. Like I don't give a shit.
You need to watch. We need to watch PCO versus Steve Macklin together.
That sounds like Chinese. That's like when Dave called that the Chinese water torture match. Seeing 60-year-old PCO versus a WWE jobber literally sounds like my hell.
I've not seen the match yet, but I saw pictures of Macklin like fucking drenched in blood. It sounds beast.
I love it. I'm excited to watch that. I love PCO. I think he's great. I saw PCO versus AJ Gray in person and it was kind of awesome because it's PCO. He like kills himself, and you hear him like the impact his body makes on the apron when he does that splash.
I hope PCO has like the greatest health insurance of all time. Because that's not like, what are we even doing here?
I don't think he does, but he's love of the game. Former WWF Tag Team Champion. So that's and former Ring of Honor World Champion. Anyway.
Oh, before we get into anything more, I wasn't here last week, so I'd like to thank the guy on Twitter who said that he didn't watch our podcast because we're dumb for giving us a watch.
That guy was awesome.
That really means so much to me that like you changed your mind and watched us. So finally, you're getting the full experience. Well, not the full, considering you're just looking at Checo, but thank you for watching our show.
That was sick. And then really quickly, before we get back to Master Wato here, Alfred, $1.99 is 51% owner of Wrestle Purists. Jamie, keep it up. All right.
Big fun. Thank you, Alfred.
Yep. Thanks, Alfred. Appreciate that. And then we also have
Darren.
Help me out. Is this euros or pounds? Help me out.
Darren Walker.
Darren showed up on Dumb Guy Live. That's huge.
I don't know.
That's Ibu's biggest fan.
Darren Walker is a frequent super chatter and ally of Ibu.
Oh,
he's a
big
punk guy.
I appreciate that. I am too. Have New Japan and Stardom ever talked about doing a G1 climax for the women?
Like
Could invite women from AEW and Impact too. Yeah, I mean, yeah, they do. Stardom essentially does their own round robin tournament every year, the 5-star GP. Last year they had 26 women in it, which was crazy. What was that?
We just got the lineup for that.
Yeah, we did get the lineups.
Little rundown.
Let's talk about that real quick. I know it's not your cup of tea, Murph, but since
I love round robin tournaments. Like I'm pretty sure like Big Japan could do a round robin tournament with like no death matches, and I still love it.
Murph, you and I, like 97% of the time, we're aligned.
Icky Towson. I'm stupid.
Yeah. Icky Towson. Yeah, Icky Towson's great. They haven't. Did they do Icky Towson this year? Yeah, they did.
They usually alternate.
Abdullah. Well, yeah, Death Icky Towson. I think Abdullah Kobayashi won.
I need some strong BJ next year, and I
watched the entire strong Icky Towson last year. It was kind of bad. But
yeah, I mean, anyway, with Naruki Doi though, the promotion's on fire with Naruki Doi.
They've been putting Big Japan. This is like 3 Americans know about this, but they've been putting this like 135-pound Norwegian guy in like semi-mains at Korakuen. Big Japan has. His name's like Ender Kara or something. It's very ridiculous. I love you know the world is healing from the pandemic because you get random people you've never heard of who aren't Japanese in like Yanagase Pro Wrestling and like Dotonbori Pro, and it's like, oh, who's Jack Kennedy? Who
Kennedy.
Are you? Yeah.
What was the dude on the DDT? Like Royce Chambers.
Royce Chambers. Yeah, exactly. So
what's the dude Noah right now? Sean Legacy.
Sean Legacy. He's going to be at All Together. Sean, I'm sure you're a good guy. That name sucks, dude. Sean Legacy.
It's like I hate when people say like, "Oh, it's a creator wrestler name." That literally is the biggest creator wrestler name I've ever heard in my life.
This is my legacy. All right. Anyway, let's talk. Jamie, do you have the Stardom lineups in front of you?
I do. I just pulled it up.
Oh, he's bloody got. He's been preparing. We've been waffling about Big Japan, and he's been doing the work. Go for it, Jamie.
Okay, so before I actually get into the names, this year they've kind of like. So you just mentioned before, last year was 26 women tournaments. This year's down to 20. They've stripped it back a little bit, which is kind of crazy considering the roster's got bigger and more stacked. But they've cut a few people. there'll be a qualifying tournament. We'll get to that. So we have Mayu Iwatani and Hazuki from Stars. No Koguma in the 5-star GP.
Mhm. Yeah.
Utami Hayashishita, Azumi, and Saya Kamatani from Queen's Quest. Oedo Tai have Natsuko Tora, Starlight Kid, and Momo Watanabe. Donna Del Mondo, we got Julia and Maika. Cosmic Angels, Tam Nakano, Natsupoi, and Sori Ano. She's made it. I wasn't sure if she'd make it because
Ooh,
That's
she's
great
kind of
news.
she's still freelancing a little bit. She does like Oz Academy shows and stuff, but she's going to be in there. We got Shuri, Mirai, and Amisure from God's Eye. Amisure, she was in the qualifying league.
What
She's in
happened?
it.
Just to go off a tangent real quick. What happened to what's her name? Toma Kainaba. She's still like around Stardom.
Yeah,
She's
so
the God's Eye, right?
she's still the Queen of JTO champion.
Mhm.
My kind of theory is that they're waiting to find someone for her to drop the belt to, and then
Mhm.
she'll get signed.
Okay.
But she's a member of God's Eye. She's
That's
just
what I
not
thought. So I really like her.
Is
so I
she-
was just making sure.
She's not. Well, she's not. I was for a second. I was thinking she was New Blood tag champs, but she is not.
No, she'll be
yeah, but
challenging. She's
yeah.
challenging for the belts this Friday, so
Yeah.
potentially soon. And then we got from Club Venus just Mina Shirakawa, and then we have Suzu Suzuki, who is currently factionless, although I'm not sure how long that'll be for. And then we have two X's, which I presume I believe they're doing some sort of rumble or qualifying league or something like that. So you've got the likes of like Saki Kashima, Koguma, Tekla, and a few others who are currently have not made the lineup. So we'll see who gets in there.
There's some big names that aren't in it. I agree. I like the smaller field as well. It's just going to make Lamora said this. Scarecrow agreed. It just stinks because there's going to be some good wrestlers that aren't in this tournament. Like I'm going to be disappointed if Koguma isn't in it. I'm such a big fan. I'm going to be disappointed if it seems. In fact, it's probably incredibly unlikely at this point that, for example, Saya Ida is in it, which is disappointing.
That injury just killed her. That sucks so bad.
I know she was the future champ, and she had a feud with Julia.
She's gonna be like a what if. Like she's gonna be looked back as like a what if.
Yeah, I'm still a believer, but Mariah May isn't in it. She's a big name. If I had to guess, man, and Saki Kashima was a big name too. If I had to guess, assuming we like know who's going to be in it, and it's not like some surprise person that we don't know, I would probably speculate that it's Tekla and Koguma, but I don't know.
I can't remember. I feel like they announced.
No,
I feel like they announced a rumble of some sort, which makes me think: is it one Stardom wrestler and an outsider that's like just an ex, like Takumi Iroha, or are they going to do like two just Stardom wrestlers again? I'm not sure yet.
If it's a freelancer, Chihiro Hashimoto would be incredible. She's the one who jumps out.
That's a lot of pins to take, though.
Well, not necessarily. They can do some draws.
Yeah.
I was gonna say if like Risa Serra did it and Takumi Iroha, then yeah, I think Chihiro Hashimoto can do it. But and then the other one is Mai Sakurai, who's a trios champion now, and
two-thirds of the trios champions and the high speed champion are not in the five.
Not guaranteed a spot. Yeah.
Are there three Stardom rumors at all? Is like that even a rumor?
Well, I don't think it's been explicitly. It's just sort of like every freelancer has Stardom rumors, right? Like just because they've picked up everybody, But I mean, Suri that'd be sick. I would love Suri.
That would, if I had the book, I would get her in it because she's just the best.
It seems like it's a matter of time before she makes some sort of appearance. She's called out Mai for the IWGP, and she wants Julia as well. So it's like she'll be popping up sooner rather than later.
Yeah. Okay. So thank you for the super chat, Darren Walker. We appreciate it. We also have a $5 super chat from Bam 255019. Will we see Dumb Guy live on the preview stream for Forbidden Door? When is Forbidden Door? What's the date on it?
It's June 28th, I believe.
June 28th. I won't be on it. I'm going to be in fucking Georgia at that time, so I will not be on it. But
I'm going to be. I may or may not be in Toronto, so I won't be on it. But
fuck it. I nominate myself then.
Jamie, you should do it. Yeah,
I'll do it.
This guy over here.
What's it called? It'd be cool if we did like a Dumb Guy Live X like on Purist or like one of the other pods for like because it's AEW and in like Japanese wrestling. So
one of these times, I'm gonna be the first white boy on Purist, and they're just gonna have to accept me one of these.
I'm gonna be
times.
the
Maybe I'll
I'm
do
gonna
it,
try and
Ryan.
be the second white boy on Purist now. That's gonna be my goal.
Well,
Number
yeah,
2.
if you're the first one, you might not make it.
No, I would get eviscerated. It wouldn't be pretty.
I was really impressed. It was just AO and Marcus on the show this past Friday.
they
and
did a great.
I offered. I was
Marcus
like,
has
guys,
Marcus has been like an invaluable pickup for Wrestle. Like he's so good at podcasting.
He's sick.
Like,
yeah, he's really good. It's almost like AO like kind of knows what he's doing when he picks people for stuff like that. So, all right. So yes, let's get back to the best of the Super Juniors. Everybody, thank you for the super chats, guys. We appreciate it. Best of the Super Juniors, Master Wato over Mike Bailey. I think we're all in agreement that Mike Bailey was incredible in this tournament. And then we had Titan over El Desperado, and maybe the biggest upset all tournament. I don't think anybody thought Titan was going into the finals of this tournament. The last time he was in Best of the Super Juniors last year, he was just kind of a mid-card guy. The last time before that he finished like second to last in his block. But the difference is he's LIJ member. He's definitely, sort of usurped Bushi as that second guy after Hiromu in LIJ's junior division, and he made it work with an awesome match against El Desperado.
You see,
we'll go on there.
I was very disappointed when we only got one like luchador from Mexico for this tournament. But you see, this made up for it because I'd rather have one guy go to the finals than 3 or 4 guys get 6 points. So you know what, New Japan, thank you for throwing us a bone and giving us Titan all the way to the final. And we'll get to Wato, but they couldn't have booked this better. I'm just very happy with how this was booked. So thank you, Gato.
Yeah,
it was great.
This weekend kind of like made Titan. He had a really great performance against Desperado. The upset was a huge upset. I think because Desperado is probably, you'd say, the biggest name in that junior division yet to win it, and it kind of felt a little bit like sort of his last chance. I know it's not explicitly stated or anything. It'll probably be in.
Yeah, it does kind of feel like it's like if not now, then when, right?
Yeah, because I've mentioned it a few times. I think he should maybe move up, but he maybe not. But it just had that feeling of like it kind of had to be now. But I'm not opposed to where we went with it at all. And yeah, it's just a really great performance from Titan.
It was great. Darren, I'm reading that you had your birthday yesterday. Happy birthday, bro.
Happy birthday,
Darren. So the after that, 2 days later at Ota Ward in Tokyo, we got Master Wato versus Titan in the finals. And I don't know that anybody thought that either of these guys had this match in them. But it ended up being one of the great Best of the Super Junior finals we've ever gotten. Just incredibly heated, back and forth, competitive. It genuinely seemed like these two guys felt like they needed to step up to the moment of the Best of the Super Juniors finals in a way that we just haven't had all that recently in the past few years. I would say aside from like Yo in 2021, which was a pandemic one, everybody who's made the Best of the Super Junior finals has been either some guy that they've just brought in recently or one of the top 2 or 3 stars in the division. This was completely out of left field. Wato obviously had some people who thought he was going to win. Nobody thought Titan was going to be in these finals and have a shot to win. So it made for a really dramatic final as well. I just loved it. It was great.
Yeah, it was tremendous. I gave it 5 stars. I loved it.
Wow.
And it was just like, as the Stardom guy, I'm going to make a quick Stardom comparison for Master Wato because it was kind of the first thing that hit me when this match ended. Mina Shirakawa and Master Wato, I think, have very similar trajectory in the sense that they're 2 people who both companies obviously saw a lot in and have big plans for the future. However, in terms of like fan perception and stuff, they were never really like that guy, or they were never really on the level of the people around them at the top. But when they got the opportunity, for Mina, it was the second Sire match especially. And for Wato, it was like the semi-final and especially the final. They more than delivered, and it made for like it. It kind of put away all the doubters pretty much. I'm seeing a lot of people now who, were never really believers in Wato. I will be the first to admit that I was not. I'm not a huge Wato guy. I don't think many people are. But over the, I'll shout out Big AO because he's the one Master Wato ride or
Yeah.
die. He had a big win. But now after this final, I'm kind of like I'm ready to see him win the belt on Sunday. I'm with it.
Well,
so it was just like total star-making performance.
I'm a Wato believer, and Parker can confirm that I did like Wato for a long time. I'm not AO level Wato lover, but I love Wato, and I've loved Wato since he was Hirai Kawato, and he was Kawato-san in CMLL.
Wato-san, yep.
But Wato is just he was never, when they first came in, he was just a geek. So they had him running around with tens on, and he was basically being like a knucklehead on COVID shows. And now, he's not just blue-haired guy anymore. Now he's like an actual like New Japan junior babyface. So like, I'm pretty happy with what they've done with Wato, and I think Wato is a guy that can win the belt and can be a junior guy because I think Hiromu and Despy are going to go up soon. Like, they just have to. Like, at this point, like, come on, man. Like, Hiromu and Despy have to go up.
I think Desperado is more likely than Hiromu.
That's a shame, though. But, like, both should go up, and there should be more. There's a lot of good juniors in that division that, just need a little tad more. And there are juniors on the market. If New Japan wants to get up,
for sure.
Eita, please. But
bring in Doi.
I think Doi's getting too busy for everything unless he wants to go full time with New Japan. But no, the New Japan, the junior division's like a wide open thing right now, and I kind of just want to see them like roll with it and continue to do this because this was the best of Super Juniors in a couple of years because it was unpredictable, and that's what tournaments should be. Is unpredictability is what makes tournaments great. I mean, Kenny Omega, no one expected Kenny Omega to win the G1 Climax in 2016. It came out of nowhere. He was just coming off a junior run, but you strike when the iron's hot and you make stars. And New Japan can do that with these tournaments, and I don't know why they don't more, and they did it here. So I'm very, very happy with Wato winning the Best of Super Juniors.
The thing with Wato coming back from excursion is what New Japan does frequently is they will give people, they'll give him a gimmick, right? Because it's wrestling, you have to have a gimmick. And the gimmick will be like cartoonish to the max. They did this with Evil, Okan, Wato, plenty of different guys, right? And then they give him about a year to settle into that character and finally determine, okay, what aspects of this are we going to maintain? What aspects of this are we going to kind of drop? So it's more like just sort of his general vibe is that he's like this karate guy, but really he's just a wrestler. Just like Great Okan's general vibe is that he's this whatever the fuck Great Okan is. But he's not Mystic anymore. He's a member of a stable. He's like kind of a shooter guy, right? And so that's the idea there. And I like that they do that. I think it adds some interesting dynamics to the wrestlers themselves. So yeah, great stuff. Master Wato will challenge for the junior title at Dominion.
I really hope he. I'm not the first guy to mention this. I think Ash might have brought the idea before. I really want to change his name. But in the final, I don't know if you know, the fans were chanting Kawato.
I didn't. Why not?
I would very much like him to become the Grandmaster Hirai Kawato. That feels like more befitting of a top junior star for me.
Master Wato, it was just so goofy. Like the hair looked dumb. I feel like it was almost like slightly intentional that it was supposed to be really kind of dumb like this. Like Geto is always trying to play 4D chess with this stuff. He's obviously a believer in the comparison between really dumb and bad and annoying wrestling and how it makes really good wrestling feel that much better. That's why he's always had Bullet Club stuff. He's always had, House of Torture, stuff, even like Takashi Iizuka, right? I don't think anybody looked forward to watching Takashi Iizuka for the last 10 years of his career, but
I just liked his entrance when he would like go through the crowd. That was really
he's like he's got Tai Chi's holding him by the chain, and but when you compare that type of wrestling to the absolute pinnacle, the best that New Japan can offer, which is the best that wrestling can offer. I think it shows the big difference there. We have a $1.99 super chat from the Pro Wrestling Podcast. Hola, Pro
Hola.
Thank you for
This is the Pro Wrestling Podcast. That's the one that CM Punk's a big fan of, apparently. Comments on their Instagram all the time, isn't it, right?
Send Punk our way. I'm sure he loves Michinoku Pro.
I'd rather not.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll have him Any other thoughts on Wato, y'all?
Let's go, baby.
Just like I'm ready to see him like win the big one, which we'll get to when we get to the full Dominion preview. Go ahead, man.
I'm saying let's go, Wato time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep, it was a good tournament. I gave it, like, somebody asked me on Twitter what I would grade it. I would give it like a B+. I think it was actually weirdly, aside from the finals, and I mean, of course, I predicted Wato to win, but the Titan aspect was extremely surprising. Aside from the finals, I thought the tournament was very like chalk and predictable. Like very little went outside of what you would expect, even in terms of people's performances.
I was expecting Mike Bailey to be so good, like go so far.
I mean, I was saying it on the pod, wasn't I? Like, I thought he was going to be the MVP, and he was. And yeah, I
forgot how good he was. I kind of just forgot how good he was.
I thought both. So then I thought both semifinals and the finals vastly exceeded my expectations. Like, if you show me that match on paper, and also I thought specifically Akira versus Desperado vastly exceeded expectations and ended up being one of the best matches in the tournament. When it's just kind of a match you see, it's like, oh yeah, that'll probably be good. So
that was my match of the tournament before we got to the final three matches. I think besides Titan getting to the finals, doing as well as he did, the only guy who like really shocked me with how they did was like Kushida. He went like 2-7.
Yeah,
that was surprising.
I don't want to talk about that.
So you said your match of the tournament was the finals, but up until that it was Desperado versus Akira. Murph, did you have any one match that stood out as being like your match of the tournament?
The final was my favorite match. A guy that I do want to talk about real quick is Leo Rush. He had a great tournament, like very quietly.
That's exactly what I was going to say next. My match of the tournament, including the finals, was Mike Bailey versus Leo Rush. I thought that match was just spectacular, and their action and how fast they were going and the stiffness and all that type of stuff. I thought it was pretty mind-blowing how great they were. So yeah, Leo Rush was fantastic. I mean, Bailey versus Leo Rush hopefully is an IWGP Junior title match one day. All right, y'all. Let's move on a little bit. Let's
talk about Dominion.
Yeah. Okay. Let's preview Dominion. Let's do that first. Yes. Okay. Dominion, New Japan's second biggest show of the year, the June special in Osaka Joe Hall. We have the full card. The full card. It is a no fluff card. This is the card. There's literally one like multi-man tag, and everything else has like title implications. In some way, which is pretty incredible. 7 title matches on the show, 1 number 1 contender match, and you had to throw LIJ and the just 5 guys on there, right? So anyway, I'm going to go in reverse order. We're going to go from the top and preview this show. The main event of Dominion 2023. Imagine saying this just 6 months ago. Is Sonata defending the IWGP Heavyweight Championship against the returning Yota Tsuji in his first match back from excursion. Murph, you are a Yota believer, a Tsuji truther. You excited for this?
It's hard because I'm a Yota believer, but I'm also a huge Sonata fan. So this match is hard for me because really I'm just excited for the match. But I want both to win. I want Sonata to win, honestly, because I do want him to get a bit of a run, and I think Yota can lose. But, this is going to be a hell of a match. I'm pretty excited.
Nice.
Yeah.
Jamie?
I have a kind of similar feeling, although I think I'm going more the other way of it. Sonata winning was like, getting the belt off Okada was like one of the craziest moments of the year. And I really, like, made up for him, wanted to have like a great reign. But this Yota Tsuji experiment that we're going with. It feels like it's like one of those moments. I think Parker, you made the comparison to Waka in the Cinderella. It's one of those moments where like you're never going to get this opportunity again to do it now. So I'm kind of leaning towards Tsuji winning, but it's such an interesting prospect we've got because he appeared. I can't remember. I get it mixed up. Was it Sakura Genesis or was it Wrestling Dontaku? I get them mixed up.
Dontaku, I believe.
Dontaku, yeah. He appears after all the vignettes, spears the hell out of Sanada and beats down just 5 guys, and then he's been nowhere to be seen. He popped up at CMLL. He's been
he wrestled like 15 CMLL matches.
Yeah, but in terms of the New Japan stuff, he's not been on any tags or stuff. The one place I expected him to show up was the Best of the Super Juniors final after the LIJ just 5 guys match. Or maybe we'd get like a stare down or something, but nothing. So he's a complete like mystery, which is a little bit tricky because what if he's bad? But also it's like I love it. It's just so interesting.
It's all intrigue, right? It's New Japan banking that their presentation of Tsuji in the literally one segment that he's had has been good enough to convince you that this is a main event worth watching. And it's also banking on their years and years of great wrestling, great performances, great booking.
The fact that they're doing this is just so insane. It's like if AEW brought back like Nick Wayne and had a main event like All Out. Like it's like
when they debuted Hook, I actually thought that they should have just gone straight into like literally a pay-per-view main event with him. Just like to see what would happen. I thought that would have been crazy. Against Kenny. Yeah.
Kenny wasn't around then though. That's a shame. Like they couldn't have done
that.
Or
against Hangman, I guess is who it was. But yeah. So anyway, I'm a big believer in stuff like that. If the guy's ready. And it's New Japan. Like I feel like they've earned the cachet to be confident in their training and right. Like
the guy was really good when he was a young lion. Like he was very
everybody thought Kawato was like this prodigy. He didn't get this push. Everybody thought Shota Umino was the second coming. He didn't get this push. Yuya Uemura is kind of in purgatory right now. We haven't really, we're not. But Tsuji, I mean, this is a bigger push than Jay White got.
No, it's
on his return. And Jay White ended up being one of the 3 most important guys in the company in his tenure there. It's huge. It doesn't get bigger than this unless you had him debut at Wrestle Kingdom or something, or if you have him debut in the G1 and then just win it, right? Yeah. So, it's incredible. It's so much fun. I think Tsuji knocked his debut segment out of the park. We talked about it a couple weeks ago, but he just came. He was so cool, like the hood draped over his face, and you see the big smile, and he's got the beard, which allows him to stand out a little bit. The long hair. He destroys Sonata. He's got the LIJ cool, the first new heavyweight LIJ member since Shingo Takagi. It's just, they're doing everything for this guy. What do you guys think is going to happen? Are we going to get a title change? And do you think there should be that title change? I think a lot of us think they should be, but do you think they will?
I'll go for. I think there will be, and I kind of want it. It's just like I said. It's just one of those. You don't get this chance again to do it right now, and I think they're gonna go for it. I'd also quite like him to do it with the. Do you think he's still got that shooting star press in him?
Oh my God! Could you imagine?
He's a big boy.
It'd be awesome.
I think the moral of the story is don't look at excursions at like basically just like don't look at the excursion because like people loved Yuya Uemura's excursion and now he's like in purgatory and Yota Tsuji had pretty unimpressive excursion. Now they're pushing him to the moon. So I think the honest thing is like don't analyze these guys during their excursions because really it's just what happens when they come back.
Yeah, this is something you and I have talked about before, Murph, is just the excursion is to get a wrestler more seasoning, more experience outside of the New Japan, to expand their horizons, wrestle different styles, operate in front of different crowds, all that type of stuff.
Yep.
The point is not for them to be the top star in their promotion that they go to, right? Hiromu was barely had any shine in CMLL.
It's on the tip of my tongue.
Kama Itachi.
Kamitachi, yeah. Yeah,
Yep.
Oka.
And
or
like Sho and Yo, they did nothing. Evil did nothing. Tataki
Takaki
Watanabe
Watanabe,
was like
yeah.
he was a jobber in
What's
Ring
this?
of
The
Honor.
Tempura Boys. Remember?
Yeah, the fucking Tempura Boys. Yeah, so
Can we
if
talk
you're
about
like
that just being like
obviously
the worst delirious brain booking? Like Jesus
it was
Christ.
so bad. The fucking Tempura Boys. That's pretty good.
Jay
But
White's like the only one of that generation who actually had an actual excursion. Like Jay White was actually great on his excursion.
yeah, but even then, like his presentation and wrestling style was night and day compared to when he
That's
came
true.
back to Japan. On excursion, people thought he was like a junior.
Yeah, it made no,
And
yeah, it was crazy.
he was like an athletic sort of high flyer guy. Not really high flyer, but he was like kind of like Akira a little bit.
That's a good
but
point. Yeah, I remember he had like a great match with Jay Lethal, where it was just like a fast-paced
mhm.
lethal match.
Yeah, and so the New Japan's got their plans for people. So to look into excursions to any real extent, I think is a misstep. Okay, I'm gonna say they don't do it. I don't think they're
I
gonna
don't think
pull
they
the
do it.
trigger. But I desperately want them to. I'm gonna be fully in Suji's corner in
I
this.
think they make him look very strong, but he loses. Like he looks
Yeah.
very strong in defeat.
Yeah, it's the Osaka Joe Hall main event. Like you would expect that, right? I just don't think they'll do it. I think that's too risky for New Japan to do. So especially we heard them talking just a couple just this past week. It was Obari, right? Was talking about New Japan's finances, for example, and I don't know that if you're barely breaking even this year, that putting a literal and complete unknown as your world champion is the move. But we'll see. I'm stoked. I'm really excited.
Yep.
Okay. Hiromu Takahashi will defend the junior title against Master Wato per Wato winning Best of the Super Juniors. This is when I do think we are getting that title change.
I agree.
I think Wato will be junior champion. A lot of people wanted it to happen at Wrestle Kingdom this year. This is another thing where I just don't get too freaked out about booking decisions all the time, because it just usually feels like they have a plan, right? And Wato's coming back, and now if he doesn't win it here, I'm going to be like, all right, what's going on? But
yeah, I agree.
It feels like his time.
Yeah, the only I'm completely with it. I think he's winning. The only thing that kind of like puts a little bit of doubt in my mind is it feels like they set up a few title matches with Hiromu during Best of the Super Juniors. You know, people like Bailey and a Leo Rush rematch, and even Titan, guys who got pins over him. Feels like they could have that junior title match with Hiromu, but I do think Wato is getting the belt here, and like you said, didn't win it earlier in the year. I think now is the time to pull the trigger.
I will say about that, notably, all the people who beat Hiromu are not New Japan signed talent.
Yeah, that's true.
And even like Leo Rush, who's like kind of half New Japan signed, he got a match already this year, right? So that makes me a little bit more confident that we are going to get.
They have to
that
do
title
it. It's like
change.
one of those things. Like you just have to. It'd be weird if they didn't.
Yeah, it's his time. And it just makes sense. All right, third from the top. This is a fun one, y'all. Never open weight 6-man tag titles. I wonder when the last time I think we mentioned this at maybe Duntaku, but the never 6-man titles being above the heavyweight tag titles and the never open weight championship on the card. Like, I don't know if that's ever happened before, but Okada, Tanahashi, and Ishii are defending against the fucking Blackpool Combat Club. John Moxley, Claudio Castagnoli, and Shota Umino.
Let's fucking go.
Let's fucking go.
Those titles just feel so important right now, right? Is what I mean. Like,
God.
obviously, they look at the people who fucking got them. You know what I mean?
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's
it's an unreal match. Like what? Like holy shit, that's awesome.
It's so much fun, and not only that, I think everybody knows the match is going to be stellar. If they really want to give it time and give it, like 18 to 23 minutes or something. Like this could be incredible, like mind-blowingly good. I don't know that they'll do that, and not in the main event spot, but we'll see. But everybody in this match,
the trios match was at Forbidden Door between Yuta, Umino, and Kingston versus Minoru Suzuki, Sammy Guevara, and Chris Jericho. This kind of reminded me of that, where this is like a star-studded 6-man. that legitimately like has the New Japan style and the more American style, and I think they could legitimately just like steal the show. Like it just could be unreal, unbelievable.
It's going to be great. It's going to be so great. Everybody in this match is a stellar, fantastic main event level wrestler, and there's like no 6-man tag matches that you can say that.
I didn't
about.
even know that Claudio was like never been in New Japan before. I was like shocked at that stat.
He's never spent like real super like extended time in Japan. That's kind of
Noah, right? Just
yeah. He
Noah.
did some stuff in Noah, but it was never like he didn't like spend 6 months there or whatever. So yeah, so it's so exciting. Claudio for me when he debuted, which is crazy that it's been a year, but he's one who I'm like, I want AEW to like. He should be like a world title guy for me.
Dude, it's been such a delight just having Claudio like in AEW. Like he's the guy that everyone always talked about. Oh, Claudio's underrated. Claudio should be pushed more. And now we're finally getting to see like the Claudio we all wanted to see, and it's just so awesome. Like I could talk for hours on how great this Claudio Castagnoli run is. Like it's just awesome.
So do we think there's any shot at a title change here, y'all?
I hope so. Because you see, I don't know who would get pinned. Like Shota would be the one to get pinned, but like I don't know. I think they'd pull the trigger. I hope that they pull the trigger because that'd be awesome.
I think Okada's going to pin Shota with the Rainmaker because that's kind of been the thing this year. But Jamie, what do you think?
Yeah, I would agree. I think Okada's probably going to pin Shota. I have a slight theory that the Blackpool Combat Club might like kick the shit out of Shota after this match and kind of like be done with it. Because I feel like Okada will, he'll do what he does and kind of he'll finish him pretty quickly towards the end. And then
I have a
after
similar
the match,
theory.
They'll jump him, and then I feel like Okada and Tanahashi might maybe, come to his aid a little bit, and could be setting up maybe some Forbidden Door stuff. Or
I
think just getting him away from Moxley.
Because Kenny at the end of Double or Nothing said, "I have 2 friends that I want to bring with me."
Can I cut you off real quick?
Yeah.
I didn't see the quote, but I read stuff that was maybe slightly taken out of context.
Okay,
he was more just talking about he's got like I got a friend or 2 that I could bring over or something like that.
Well, my theory that I was gonna say was I think might all tie together and Okada's team with them on January 4th.
Yeah,
this could end up like being the bigger picture of the Elite and the BCC. If Parker's right here, then just forget I said that. But I this could all be linked a little somehow based on my previous theory.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much they can do. I think this is going to be is this is going to lead to 2 of the probably 3 big singles matches at Forbidden Door. I think we'll be getting Okada versus somebody in the Blackpool Combat Club, and I think we'll be getting Tanahashi versus somebody in the Blackpool Combat Club. Maybe we'll even get like Ishii versus Umino, which would be a fucking great match too.
Ishii versus Claudio for the ROH.
Ishii versus Claudio. Oh my god, that'd be incredible. I'd be ecstatic at that. And again, you guys got to remember Danielson is part of this too, so he could do a video package or something like that. Yeah, this is such a fun match. I think we're all stoked about it, and it's but believe it or not, putting fucking Okada and Tanahashi with the 6-man titles makes them mean something. Crazy how that works.
Feel important. Put your most important guys on.
It's like when Kenny and Hangman had the tag belts. Like it just makes it feel like an event belt.
2 people that don't feel quite as important as these people are David Finlay and El Phantasmo. They will be wrestling for the Never Openweight title. Phantasmo turned babyface a couple months ago. He is in Chaos now.
Is he in Chaos? I feel like he's in Hontai.
Yeah, I mean they're kind of molded.
Well,
they're
merged together.
You see, that isn't what I wanted. That annoys me because I thought that Phantasmo was going to join Bullet Club Gold and like it was going to lead to that. But like, it's not fun.
They've been talking about doing fucking intra Bullet Club shit like every single year since they did you remember the Firing Squad?
Oh, and San Francisco. Yeah.
And by the way, I love that Jay White and Juice Robinson are like besties now because that match was crazy. That they had against each other.
Yeah.
Like it just it's a completely different era. That was the match that that Jay threw. You remember he would keep like banging people into the barricades, and
Yeah.
he knocked Jim Ross out of his chair.
Do you remember when didn't
and then
Hiromu break his neck that night?
Josh Barnett was gonna shoot on Jay White.
Yeah.
That show was insane because that was also the
Hiromu
show
broke
that
his neck,
Hiromu broke his neck on that show, and it was a 30-minute Omega versus Cody, like no disqualification IWGP Heavyweight title,
Which ended with Haku
main
beating him up in the middle of the ring.
Yeah, Haku was there. That show was insane. What were you gonna say?
I didn't say anything.
Oh, I thought you were going to say something about the Jay White match, but
No,
yeah.
I thought that Phantasmo was going to join Bullet Club Gold. That's not what they're doing, but hey, I love Phantasmo, and I think David Finlay sucks. So I'd love Phantasmo 1 here because I think David Finlay's just like, it's like, what are we even doing here? Like, why is David Finlay the leader of the Bullet Club? Like, Jesus Christ.
Finlay will not lose. Finlay will retain this title at Dominion.
He's literally just like go away heat for me. Like, Jesus Christ.
If Phantasmo can capture the Tama love then I think this match could be really fun. But
yeah,
Tama Tonga going to the Fed.
Yeah, I don't know. He's not on this show.
Yeah, I was about to make a similar point. I think
goodbye and good riddance.
If they get behind Phantasmo, it could give it a little, but it'll boost it up a little bit. But
just be happy we don't have Kenta in a singles match here, because like that would be terrible again. Because oh my god,
we were going through who we want in the G1, and it's so in the Wrestle Purist group chat, it's so crazy that Kenta's not in the top 20 people. That
he's so bad.
It just stinks, dude. It makes me sad. It's Kenta.
Like, he's one of my favorite fucking wrestlers
he
ever.
got fucking screwed over. He went to bullshit WWE, and then he got injured a lot, and they didn't do shit with him. And
it's like seeing an NBA player at the end of his career and just like being bad.
Yeah. It's like
Derrick Rose. He's literally just like Derrick Rose.
It's like Hakeem on the Raptors. It's like
he's like Derrick Rose on the Knicks. He's like, he pops people because he's like Kenta or Derrick Rose, but he's just like so washed that you just don't want to see him. Yeah. Like it's a shame.
We saw somebody on Twitter who was like, they should do Punk versus Kenta at Forbidden Door. And I was like, no, dude, that match would be so bad.
Like so like nice.
Dude. I love Punk. That match would suck.
Yeah,
that's like a guy who literally moves worse than Punk. Like that would be so bad. Jesus Christ.
That's one of them matches where like if you get them both, in their prime, as like
it's like wow, that's awesome. Yeah,
but that's just not what we got on our hands right now.
That's not what we've got anymore.
Yeah, that's not what we're working with. You mentioned the G1 climax there. We talk about Kenta. We getting that lineup on this show?
We are.
Yes, we are. I think. In fact, perfect timing. I think after, before the Never Openweight title match, that's when we're getting that lineup. So there's like last year was obviously a crazy structure and lineup. I really just think 2 blocks are so much better. I just think it's just so, even if it means leaving off somebody who's good, I think 2 blocks is so much better. I think Stardom is seeing that, and hopefully their Bushiroad compatriots agree
from
with
your
that.
lips to God's ears, but I just don't think that's going to happen. Like they're going to do the 4 blocks again because they have to.
It's possible. I mean, they're definitely they love the obviously the semis were a huge success in Best of the Super Juniors. Bringing those back, we'll definitely get semis, even if it's a 2 block thing. But 2 blocks of 12 would be awesome. I know it's a lot.
It's classic G1.
Yeah, even 2 blocks of 10. That's like. But then you're definitely leaving off somebody. Like you're leaving off Tom Lawler, or you're leaving off Ishii, or
they're going to do 4, and there's going to be no. I don't think there's going to be any big AEW names, sadly.
If they do 4, they should expand it to 8 per block.
At this point,
that would be best for me, because that's actually, I believe, fewer matches than 2 blocks of 10. Maybe not quite. It's like a similar amount.
I just want them to. I want them to copy that their 5-star formula that we're getting this year down to a T. Like
Mhm.
2 blocks of 10. Like you said, you're gonna miss out some names that you know maybe you'd wish would be there, as is the case with the Stardom one. But when you actually look at who's made the cut, you see that it's just all all
Mhm.
killer and like no filler. You know what I mean? Just you're just gonna get the absolute.
We don't
best
need
quality.
Yano in there. We don't need
Yeah.
Yujiro. We don't need Evil. We don't need Kenta.
If
be honest.
Yujiro's in again, that will just suck. He's so bad.
We don't need Hikuleo. We don't need lots of these bums. We don't need Fale. We don't need Chase Owens.
Is Fale even around anymore?
Fale wrestles. He wrestles on every New Japan Tamashi show in Australia.
What's New Japan Thomas?
It's Australia, New
I
Japan.
don't even know about that. Jesus.
Remember they did the Young Lion Cup and Michael Richards was in it.
He was that like bald looking dude.
Yeah,
right?
he still wrestles. He's on all those New Japan Tamashi
They
shows.
have a bullet club in.
Yeah, they
in
have Aussie Bullet Club.
Rogue Army or whatever it's called. Yeah.
There's like Caveman Ugg or some shit like that is in it.
Caveman Ugg's actually good.
I know. Remember when he was gonna be in fucking PWG and they were gonna put him against Barbaro Cavernario?
Yeah,
And it was gonna be Caveman versus Caveman.
of COVID.
Come on.
Remember
That sounds like money right there, man.
Remember when PWG just loved booking those Australian guys? Mick Moretti.
Yeah, they had Mick Moretti too. Yeah. Damn.
Paris. What's his name?
Paris De Silva and Jude London and damn.
Remember when Osprey said he was going to move to Australia and he was going to become a star?
Yeah, Osprey says a lot of stuff. I let him slide.
Osprey said he was moving to Australia and making it to New England.
he had one match with Robbie Eagles and he's like, I need to stay.
He's the best, man. He's just the best.
I love Osprey. He has a joie de vivre that I think we could all benefit from. $1.99 super chat from MavsFan84. Does Takeshita get a Forbidden Door match this year with New Japan talent? I would love that. I would absolutely love that. That would be great. And it feels like they should. Like he's part of this, Blackpool Combat Club universe as well, too.
Mm-hmm.
Like him against Ishii. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I think the only talent that's not allowed to be on is Mexicans. That's the only talent that AEW isn't allowed to use, and I think they'll use everyone else except for people that don't want to be on the show.
Takeshita isn't DDT anymore. Like he is solely AEW. So absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And for example, like Eddie Kingston did DDT, right? And he's done New Japan since then. I think it
being
absolutely.
He's on New Japan like July 1st. Like
yeah. So yep.
So no, it's just as long as they're AEW contracted and not Mexican, and they want to be on the show, they can be on Forbidden Door.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay. What else we got here on this here show? Tag title match. I don't want to spend any time on this shit. I'm so sad that Aussie Open had to vacate the titles. I mean, they did sign with All Elite Wrestling.
They've
anyway,
gone to a
so
better
I wonder
point.
what the. I wonder. Well, all right. But we now have a three-way match. We did add a third team to this. Bishamon are hopefully the ones who win it versus Evil and Yujiro Takahashi versus the recently added Great Okan and Aaron Henare. This is not a thrilling matchup.
This is classic New Japan tag division.
Yep. It's like, nope, we broke up Evil and Sonata 4 years ago, and it's time to not care anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Same old.
Yeah. The only thing I'll say on this match, because I'm not looking for, I don't think anyone's looking forward to it. With Aussie Open, seeming like they're going, they're signed with AEW, right? This tag team division without them is a bit bleak. they were like the shining light in this tag division. So
okay, I have a question. What's an unsigned tag team that New Japan could bring in? Off the top of your head.
Astronauts.
That's a good one. What about like a Gaijin?
An American tag team that's unsigned. Violence is forever.
I'd rather kill myself.
The Workhorsemen are good.
That's what they're AEW signed.
Yeah, but I mean, like, are they really?
They're on Ring of Honor deals.
I know, dude. I know. I think I want to say Motor City Machine Guns contracts are actually coming up. I feel like I heard that at some point. That would be pretty cool.
He's technically AEW, but Parker, you're gonna kill me for this. You know who's actually a good tag team?
The Guns.
No, Nick Wayne and Jordan Oliver. They're a good team.
I like Nick Wayne.
Yeah.
Jordan Oliver's gotten good. He's good now. It's insane. I watched a Jordan Oliver match and I was shocked.
I reviewed a Jordan Oliver match. In fact, I reviewed them against the Motor City Machine Guns at Joey Janela's Spring Break for F4W, and I said it was okay.
I watched him and Nick Wayne versus Mike Bailey and Mao, and I really enjoyed it.
Well, look at who they're against. Of course, it was going to be good.
Mao's mid. Mao's not very good.
Well, Speedball. Who else is there?
Let's get the fucking Authors of Pain in there.
Oh, AOP.
I love the fucking Authors of Pain.
Let's just throw that.
Bring in Ellering.
Did they go back to the Fed? Are they one of them that are like signed, but they're not signed?
Yeah, they're a hiring freeze casualty. It's them and Tamatanga and Jay White. And
Paul Ellering. Like, that was such a great run. Jeez, man.
It was
Why
fun.
don't they have TMDK in the tag division? Like, they could just use them, but they don't.
Well,
like Nichols and
yeah, I mean they do. They did a tag.
That's true. I mean, like this just sucks. This
this is a good one. Who Anwar, Narita, and Desperado.
Ooh, I like that a lot.
Really great heavyweight team. I think
that's a good thinking.
That's good shout. That's good shout. Well, that's the thing. Like, we're thinking about all these, free agent tag teams. They have like so much fucking talent on this roster. Why is Naito and Shingo, like, why have they never done this? Right? Sonata and Taichi, when Sonata loses the title, stellar tag team right there.
Oh yeah.
Tsuji with any of the guys I mentioned could probably be great. Shota with any of the Hantai Chaos, do like Shota and then Yuji Nagata or Kojima or someone like that.
What are some tag teams they have on Strong? Is there any good Strong tag teams?
The fucking Team Filthy.
What's like the dogs?
The West Coast Wrecking Crew.
What's the dog team? It's like the dogs.
Oh, the
Stray
Bateman, Bateman and
yes,
Mysterioso.
Yeah,
is that the team?
Yeah,
dude,
Mysterioso.
Fucking Mysterioso.
Big Poppy Pump.
I remember Bateman. Bateman wrestled Brody. Bateman was a Brody King guy. He and Brody King kind of came up together, if I recall correctly.
Was he Villain Enterprises?
I don't think he was in Villain Enterprises. They wrestled together in PWG and on like other.
Oh, he's in the Righteous. He was the other member of the Righteous.
The Righteous.
They're so bad
with Vincent, and
Vinny Marseglia, and
who the fuck and Dutch.
Big Bill Carr,
former WWE signee in NXT, Dutch.
Remember when they showed up on the NXT show?
Yeah, yeah. Well, fucking Dan Carr was a police officer at WrestleMania.
No. Like last year, they went to a WWE show, and they were like ringside for it. Like they were at NXT. They were brought in for the Performance Center.
Well, I just remember Dan Carr was one of the police officers at WrestleMania this year for Dominic's entrance, which is pretty funny. Yeah, this is good. This is good.
When you mentioned before, just getting back to the tag team thing that we were talking about before, when you mentioned Naito and Shingo, if Tsuji doesn't win, I want to see Tsuji and Shingo.
Oh, that's a big team. Yeah. That's a good team.
Just two big motherfuckers, just get them in there.
Like what? I get like Osprey not putting him in the tag division, right? But like, why is it like I get so Cobb is challenging for the New Japan, the strong or the New Japan World TV title. But yeah, you get like Saber with somebody in there. There's just lots of guys on the roster that I feel like could be good.
I wish that's like I miss Techers because they were such a good tag team.
Techers was really good. Techers was really good together. Okay. All right. Let's move on a little bit. We still got a few more matches to talk about. We're going to talk Stardom after that, and then we're going to talk a little bit about a Dragon Gate. And that's going to be our... also, I want to quickly point out, in like 6 hours, Keno takes on Katsuhiko Nakajima in a singles match.
Isn't it at like Face? Like
it's at Shinjuku Face.
That's like Noah makes no sense, dude.
Noah's so weird, dude. Remember they did a mystery vortex show at Shinjuku Face a couple years ago, and it was main evented by Kaito Kiyomiya versus Katsuhiko Nakajima in a 30-minute draw.
Right? Yeah.
They just did a mystery card. I love it. It's a good promotion to me. They got
promotion should do mystery cards more often because they're just the best.
Yeah, they're fun. Unfortunately, they got to do this thing called selling tickets.
I think if AEW promoted a show as like the Dynamite Mystery Vortex month in, I think it would do well. Like in a city, like if they did in like a big city, it would be good.
Or if they did like You could almost do that for like a Rampage taping.
You gotta
like
like
if you had
list,
to,
you gotta release a list of names and like say these people will all be on the show.
yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, you will see these people.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yes. We will have, as mentioned earlier, Zack Sabre Jr. defending the world TV title against Jeff Cobb. I definitely think we could see a title change here. I don't think it's like guaranteed or anything, but Cobb is just like Sabre, one of those guys that just feels perfectly tailor-made for this 15-minute time limit title.
I want Sabre to keep it going, but he's probably not going to.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards a title change. The only thing that's maybe like preventing that is that they're setting someone up with Zack Sabre Jr. and Samoa Joe, but that might just be like a swerve, to kind of throw something.
Oh, that'd be so good. Jeez.
Yeah, and I'm with Joe versus Cobb too. If they want to keep doing the TV title thing,
that's fine by me.
I'm happy either way.
Okay, we have Kushida and Kevin Knight off of two mediocre.
Text me. Yeah.
What?
Sorry, I was talking to my mom. Sorry.
Yeah, that happens to me a lot too on the pod.
I forgot I'm muted. That's my bad.
It's all right. It's all right, buddy. Kushida and Kevin Knight defending the IWGP Junior Tag titles against TJP and Akira, who they won them from these guys like last month, right? I think it's gonna be. I think they're giving them back. I think TJP and Akira might be winning these guys back. They just did the reign during Best of the Super Juniors. But Jamie, what do you think?
Yeah, I can definitely see a title change. I guess, do we know what Kushida's doing next? Is he going back to?
Yeah,
is he going back to Impact? They didn't give him much in Best of the Super Juniors, which makes me think they're not like they have nothing for him. You know what I mean? But yeah, I really like both teams. I'm happy Kevin Knight at least had, if he loses here, at least he got a first title reign, because I think he's like a good prospect.
I hope they keep this run going, because I really like Kushida and Kevin Knight, and I'd really want Kushida to like be important, and he's not, but he should be. Like, it sucks. Like, what are they doing? What's Kushida doing? Like, he had that amazing match with Darby Allin and was like presented as a big deal, main event of the Dynamite. Like, he's the perfect like AEW Dynamite guy. Like, after this brand split, like Kushida would be like the perfect guy to be on Dynamite like often. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What could have been?
Okay. Our lone multi-man match is going to be obviously the rest of LIJ and the rest of just five guys taking on each other. Taka will take the pin. Maybe Titan like pins Taka and then challenges the winner of Desperado or of Roma versus. You already die. Also notably, there are some big names not on this show. Like there's no Desperado, there's no Narita, there's no Suzuki, none of Strong Style, right?
That sucks.
There's some big names that aren't on this show.
Yeah, why can't like that they be part of that tag title match and not fucking Yujiro? Like, geez.
That's a good point.
Like
maybe
Yujiro has no redeeming qualities.
Feels like it could be maybe their conspicuous absence is that they're going to come out and challenge the winners of the tag title match. Is
Suzuki still doing the Doi thing?
Yes, Suzuki, Naruki Doi, and Hokuto Omori are a stable in All Japan right now.
That's fucking awesome. That just puts a smile on my face.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, they by the way, there was an All Japan Triple Crown title match like 2 days ago. Yuji Nagata defended against T-Hawk.
Oh, I need to watch that. Don't tell me don't tell me one. But it's Yuji Nagata definitely won, but don't.
What there was a big match that Suzuki has coming up. He's sticking with All Japan for now. He's taken on like Shotaro Ashino and Ryuki Honda in a tag. He's taken on Kojima, and Taiyo Ki is returning.
Taiyo Kia?
Yeah, Kia from Wrestle One.
Fucking dope.
Yeah, he's coming back. He hasn't wrestled in like 4 years.
Smile on my face. Why didn't you tell me that? Like, I could have fuck. That's awesome. That just makes me so happy.
Yeah, it's Minoru Suzuki, Naruki Doi, and Hokuto Omori versus Satoshi Kojima, Kia, and Kaz Hayashi.
Dude,
it's at Ota Ward. It's at Ota Ward.
That's literally like.
Or no, it's not. It's at Korakuen. But yeah,
Dude, that's so up my alley. Like, Jesus. Oh,
The
my-
main
When
event.
is the,
Listen. What's that?
When's the Yuma Anzai?
That
Title
is
match?
at Ota Awards, June 17th. So they're doing they're doing like a pre-show Korakuen show 2 nights earlier.
Mhm.
Listen to this main event. Yuji Nagata and Astronauts are
Whoa.
taking on Yuma Anzai, who's challenging for the Triple Crown, Suwama, and Ryo Inoue in the main event of Korakuen. Like that match should be unbelievable.
Dude,
Also,
Ultimate's back.
Atsuki Aoyagi defending the junior title against Kaito Ishida on that show.
Ah, fuck. Okay. I don't really want to see him. But yeah. Wow. All Japan's back.
Murph, I don't understand your disgust and disdain for Kaito Ishida. It just doesn't make sense to me.
He's just like a net negative. Like he's just not needed.
What are you talking about? You saw him get pulled out of one stable that was shitty because Minora's like kind of a shitter. And
But now the
you're-
stable's good, so that means he was
because
back.
they added Benkei, who's like also the stable got better after Naruki Doi left it. Like is Naruki Doi a net negative?
No, but Naruki Doi, though he didn't have the weight placed on him. Like Ishida, just like it's like the
Ishida
Jared
did.
Allen meme. Like the lights were too bright for him. It was just like the lights were just a little too
He
bright.
had Shun's best fucking title match aside
not
from the
true.
Yamato one.
That's no,
Uh,
the KZ one was better.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. Aside from Kobe World, he had Shun's best title match.
Dude, I mean, everybody can have a good match. Like Adam Cole, who's like the greatest of all time, had a terrible match on Sunday. Like it happens, dude. People can have good matches and people can have bad matches.
Kaito Ishida versus Atsuki Aoyagi might be the match of the night on that show.
I bet not, because Kaito Ishida is just not.
Ishida also had the best G-Rex title match yet in like January this year.
Did he face like Prime Kawashi? Who?
He faced El Lindemann.
Oh,
think.
okay, so he basically did. So, yeah. I don't know why you love Ishida. He's just like not him.
I don't. He's a good wrestler. Like he always puts on. It's if he hadn't left Dragon Gate, you would be like,
That's not true.
You know what they did? They were gonna put him in the top 6 position, but then he thought but then he's too big for Dragon Gate.
He was
so they had
never
to replace,
going to be in that top
So
six.
they had to replace him with Strong Machine J.
It was never going to be him. Strong Machine J happened by accident. He just got good out of nowhere. No, I'm taking
anyway.
Strong Machine J over Ishida all day. It's like not
You're
even
the only person in the entire world who thinks that.
really. I'm gonna put a poll up. I bet you.
Don't put it up
more
on the
than-
Dumb Guy Live. Don't put it up on the Dumb Guy Live account. That's
No,
a bad
I'm gonna
tweet.
ask all
It's bad
my.
for
I'm
engagement.
gonna ask in the Dragon Gate portion of the Discord who's better, Strong Machine J. And I
Can
bet most
somebody
of-
in the chat tell me if number 1 Kaito Ishida is like a really good wrestler, and number 2 if he's better than Strong Machine J? Because I think it's a resounding yes to both of those. Anyway,
you don't
enough
know.
enough of this. You don't know ball. You don't know anything. You didn't know Taio Kia was coming back.
Yeah, because I'm trying to graduate high school. I'm not really looking at All Japan memes, All Japan news, not memes. What am I saying, bro?
Nice one, dude. Nice. Yes, dude.
Can we move on?
Okay. Will Osprey versus Lance Archer is opening this show.
Whoa.
They have. We talked about this
had
last
an
week. They have
awesome
incredible chemistry. Should be great. Should be just an awesome way, and hopefully Osprey wins this. Leads to the main event of Forbidden Door 2 in Kenny Omega versus Will Osprey. Sounds like the plan to me.
Yeah. Can you imagine if Archer wins?
If Archer wins, I'd be despondent.
As your main event. Let's go.
It's not a
Yeah, no, like I said, they've got great chemistry, and it sets up the match that we've been waiting for since the first one, right? So
Yeah.
this is great.
We love wrestling minutia here on this show. Do you want to hear a match that Will Osprey had like 3 weeks ago in South Yorkshire, England?
Robbo?
Go on, mate.
He in the main event for the 1PW World Heavyweight Championship.
Oh God.
He wrestled Cara Noir,
Ugh.
Mark Haskins,
Ooh, he's
and
good.
Lance Archer.
Oh,
Lance
So
Archer
they
like shows up in AEW for a week and then he just doesn't show up for a month. It's
guess
like,
who he beat to qualify for this match. You literally will never guess it, but it's like somebody you know easily.
Marty.
That'd be crazy. I wish. Just kidding. It was Bobby
guess one of
Fish.
yeah, I would have guessed that eventually because that just makes sense.
It does.
My next guess was Drake Younger. That was my next guess.
Okay.
So
Anyway.
that's pretty close to Bobby Fish. Like I was getting close there.
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily say that, but
They're buddies.
yeah.
I mean,
He also, now I'm just looking at his page. He was eliminated from Strong Style 16 by Nathan Cruz because he lost by DQ.
that's a name
in
I
the
haven't heard in a
quarterfinals.
long time. Nathan Cruz. Shit.
Yeah, Nathan Cruz. What did he do? Where was he? Was he like an OTT guy? Oh no, he was Defiant, wasn't
He's
he?
a progress guy. He was the only guy who didn't get picked up by the WWE, it feels like.
Yeah, he was in Defiant all that time.
I loved
he did all that stuff.
That was great. The Pro Wrestling World Cup, like that was just great.
Yeah. Now we're just reminiscing here.
You see,
okay.
that's fun. Honestly.
Anyway, this is a stellar Dominion lineup. I'm so
Great.
stoked for this show. It is all killer, no filler, all great stuff. Genuinely looking forward to, like, I think 7 of the 9 matches on this show have a chance to be legitimately great. And I think there's like 3 matches that should be just like blow away great. So awesome. Great stuff. All right, y'all, let's Jamie, let's turn it over to you briefly and let's talk a little bit about Stardom. There was a big Stardom development this past weekend as Tam Nakano won the Wonder of Stardom Championship to become the first double champ in promotion history. She took it from Mina Shirakawa.
She fucking did it.
She did the thing. Last week at this time, I'm like, yeah, I say that's a 1% chance of happening.
Well, I think if I remember correctly, I think you said like you were like 99% draw, and then I think you said like 1%, but you said
I think Mina. I said like 95. There's like a 95% chance it's a draw. There's like a 4% chance that if they do the double title thing, it's gonna be Mina. And I was like, and then Tam just won. She just won.
Yeah, it was so double title match. Right. So I've watched this match twice because the first time I watched it, I was like, as I think the crowd also did, because they weren't crazy into this for they weren't as hyped as a double title match of this caliber. Feels like it should have been. Because I was just expecting the draw, and I think when you are just expecting the draw, it's kind of like it takes you out of it a little bit. You're not really expecting a winner. So I watched it the second time after I knew the result. But I really like this match. It's I think these two have a better match in them, and I don't think this is the last time we get this at all. But I still thought it was a really great match. But yeah, it was just like I don't think anyone was expecting the title change. No. Rossi even pointed it out on Twitter. I think he was kind of like after the match, and he does his pictures with Tam, and he was like, everyone was expecting a time limit draw, so we had to make sure that this match was meaningful and had a winner or something like that. He was like the one time where like everyone kind of wanted the draw. He was like, fuck it, we'll do a result. But I thought it was a great match, but it's definitely a very interesting development because Mina only just won the white belt, and now it's kind of
what does this mean for my what the fuck's her name? Mirai Mayumi. What does it mean for her?
Mirai. So after the match, Mirai comes out. She's obviously yet to announce her Cinderella wish. She comes out and declares her intent to challenge for the white belt, which prompts Tam to go, "Hey, hang on, I've got both. Why don't you just like?"
That's the real question. Like, I hate when they do that. Like, just challenge for both. Like, why you just challenge her for one?
Yeah. It part me this like Tam kind of pointed it out though. She was like, "What are you doing?" But so that seems like the next thing for Mirai. But I think it sets up something very interesting with Mina because, like I said, this is definitely not the last we see of this. I think she instantly becomes a big contender in the 5-star. immediately to get that rematch down the line. But yeah, it's a first time this has happened since Mayu Iwatani quite a while back. So it's a very interesting one. Did either of you manage to catch any of this?
I did not.
Yeah, I watched the whole show this afternoon when I got home from school. I thought the show was not that good. Overall,
I didn't either.
I thought it was one of the weaker Stardom pay-per-views they've done in
What
a while.
what building do they run?
Where was it, Jamie? Here, I got it. I got it up right here. Hang on. It's luckily I'm a freak. So it was at Ota Ward. It was at Ota Ward because it was the night. It was the night before Best of Super Juniors finals.
They were in a double title match at Ota Ward. That's insane. Like what?
Yeah. It was they drew like 1,800. It was kind of a disappointing number too. New Japan drew like over 3,000 the following day.
They did a bad number in what was it, Nagoya too.
Yeah. So anyway, I don't really like talking about attendance, but I did not think this. I thought this main event was good, bordering on very good. I didn't think it was great by any stretch. I thought it was way too quick, even though it was 17 minutes. Like you just kind of expect epics from these two at this point. And I watched the match spoiled, and even with that, I was like, wow, it just ended, huh? Like I was not expecting, she hits the violet screwdriver, and then she follows it up with the bridge, and then it's just over, and it's like, wow, she lost the title. So I wasn't blown away by this match. I'm very wait and see on the decision on what they do here. New Japan unifying the titles, I thought was like one of the promotion's biggest missteps they've done. When they unified the Intercontinental and Heavyweight titles a few years ago, and I think it took their main event scene a long time to recover from that, as they had like nobody really bought the Never title as that secondary title until Jay White won it, but then he was absent a lot. Same with the US title. That probably isn't going to happen here, but there isn't any obvious mid-card title to come from that unless they're going to say the IWGP one is. Not mid-card, but like 1A, 1B to the world titles 1A, right? So I'm very wait and see on this. Mina losing the title quick is really baffling to me. That's the big thing for me, is like you do all this effort to build her up, and maybe it's just that old booking philosophy of it's more about the journey than the destination, and once you've accomplished that, you need to put the title back on somebody who's going to really lead things. But I don't know. We'll see. It didn't make all that much sense to me.
Yeah, I think the show kind of overall, she was absolutely. She was like over delivering in kind of like every aspect. Monty's a big he's a big Tam believer. He believes in Tam. He's sponsored athlete. I'm with it. I believe in Tam.
I do. So, and that was my thought. I tweeted this, but even though like on paper this doesn't make any sense on paper. But I'm such a fan of Tam. I never thought she was going to win the world title, and now she's a fucking double champ. I don't really buy people saying that she's going to like retire soon, and that's why.
I think they say that about everyone.
People say that like every month. Like
I'm like you've been saying that for years, dude. Like, and also
anybody pretty in Joshi they say that about, really. Like that's really.
Do you guys remember people thought Mayu was going to retire after the Ryogoku main event?
Isn't Tam like sneaky old though? Like, isn't she like older than you think?
She's like 35.
Yeah, like I would never.
I would call that sneaky old, but I don't know. Sorry, I just get a little defensive around age.
It's fine. Not everyone can be seen.
Yeah, the one.
Sorry, so I haven't been interrupted by my mom yet on this podcast.
You see, I just have a loving mother. I can't be mad about that.
Go ahead, Jamie.
So right, I don't think this is going to happen, but I'm going to propose a spooky thought that I had. I don't think this is going to happen, but I pray it doesn't. So after Tam won the white belt, she immediately declared her intent to go for the IWGP belt.
Oh, spooky!
So my spooky theory is that they're gonna fucking unify all three of them.
Christ.
Triple crown.
Because-
They do a
right.
triple crown belt.
Now, I don't think this is gonna happen because I'm pretty sure. Well, for one, Rossi does not want that, and two, I'm pretty sure Tam and Mina both said they won't unify the belts or whatever. But you know, for the fact that New Japan would like that IWGP belt to be the number one, so so that depends on what kind of like sway Bushiroad would have overall. You
I
know,
don't see
if
that.
Tam wins all three, and they're like, right, this is now the IWGP Women's Championship, and it's the number one belt. I don't know, man.
Yeah, I wasn't blown away by the match. I wasn't blown away by the decision as much as I am a fan of Tam. Yeah, we'll see. It's just very much a we'll see. It's very weird. You know, we're heading almost getting closer to 5-star season, right? It's just I don't know. What's the plan? And there's just all these moving parts, right? That's kind of been the weird thing about Stardom is that they just for forever they had a locked in roster. Like these are Stardom wrestlers and they don't bring in freelancers. They maybe interact with a Marvelous here and there or something like that, but that's it. Now, I mean, they have like 12 to 15 women on the roster who just kind of pop up sometimes, and we're not sure if they're signed, like Soriano and Suzu and Meisera and Inaba and Yu and Nanai and Yuna Mizumori and people, right? Yeah.
I think Suzu and May are like, I think they're signed like fully.
Yeah.
But yeah, I see what you mean. There's a lot of frequent outsiders, and it makes things very unpredictable.
And
But,
so yeah, and unpredictability can be good, but and you know they have like part timers too, right? Like Kyrie and the other people who only show up on big shows, like they're not doing the tours with the roster and stuff. So yeah, it's just I don't know. I'm ready for I like bringing in the freelancers because I like frankly, I don't have the time to watch indie Joshi wrestling for the most part, right? Unless it's a special thing like Suri or like the Hana Kimura Memorial or whatever, right? But so for me as a fan, I just wish they would sign people, and I wish they would be outright with it. The freelance stuff is just, I don't know. It's very inconsistent. It doesn't lead to that consistent overarching storytelling on a month-to-month, year-to-year basis. I'm ready for this roster to be solidified soon.
Yeah. Other than the double title thing on the show, like you said, it wasn't the craziest show in terms of like a match quality point of view, but there were a few notable things that that popped up on the show. Obviously, we got the 5-star lineup, which we touched on earlier. There's big Queen's Quest happenings. I think they might be Jova. So Queen's Quest, if you haven't been keeping up with it, Aphrodite are in shambles at the moment.
They're having problems.
Yeah, and they made a rookie mistake. A faction who are currently not getting along have challenged Oedo Tai. This is like rule number one. This is what you don't do when you're trying to put your stable together.
They need to talk to Mayu and be like, this is what happens when you challenge Oedo Tai to stuff like this.
Every single Oedo Tai member, I don't think there's one Oedo Tai member who is like an Oedo Tai original. They stole them from fucking everyone, right? So this is not clever. They're doing a big 6v6 steel cage match, I believe. I don't know how that's going to be a lot of women in a steel cage, but you know, we'll see how that plays out. So I don't know whether like is someone going to leave Queen's Quest? Are they gonna pull through and be fine? Are they gonna fold? I don't know. We'll see what happens.
I'm fine with Queen's Quest folding. They haven't, as a unit, they haven't done anything of note in like literally years. I'm ready for it.
Yeah, especially with a few factionless roster members too.
Yeah,
like Suzu
it feels like we're headed towards like an Utami Micah faction. Maybe you get Meisera in there, something like that. That's kind of what it feels like to me. But go ahead.
I say the only other really notable thing that happened. Azumi finally lost the high speed belt after over a year. Saki Kashima has her first singles belt. She made her debut in 2011. She took a big 5-year break, but she came back. And she's had, tag and an artist belt and stuff, but finally got a singles belt. I love Saki Kashima. I'm so happy she got a belt.
I was really happy for her too. She was obviously emotional and very excited to, but I thought the match kind of sucked. It was like 6
Yeah.
minutes, and the big high spot, like Azumi completely botched her dive to the outside, and aside from that, it was literally all just like Fukigen commentary or comedy and like roll ups, and that was it. Nothing special there. And then so then the no title change, a Wato tie challenge for the tag titles. No difference there, and then the wonder or the
trios
artist.
titles.
Yeah, the artist titles changed. Restart is no longer champions. Julia, Tekla, and Mai Sakurai are the new champions.
Yeah.
This was the best match on the show for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I have them. I don't know. I probably prefer the main events more than you did, but I have them on a similar level. But yeah, very short reign for restarts.
It was disappointing. They're such a fun team, but I thought the interactions between Julia and Kairi were stellar, as were the interactions between Natsupoi and Tekla. I thought had great chemistry in this match, so that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
All right.
That about wraps it up for Stardom. If you want to,
if you wanted to briefly mention,
just real quick,
the Dragon Gate.
The main event of Kobe World has been solidified, and it'll be all D Courage main event of Maruka Kekura and Yuki Yoshioka.
That's a big match.
Kobe World's a little earlier than usual this year. It's like beginning of July, I believe, and then there's 2 Korikens July 1st and 2nd. So I think that's where we're gonna get the most of the card set up. So a big week for Dragon Gate. We'll have a lot to talk to next week. We'll probably have a full card next week. Very possible.
We were talking about bringing in foreigners in Japan, and I'm ready for Dragon Gate to start bringing in some people. It's
they are working on it. I can tell you that they are working on it, and it will happen soon.
They've always just been historically so great at identifying really excellent American, Mexican, wherever
Dragon
workers.
Gate doesn't want guys who are just going to come over for like a couple appearances. They want guys who are going to move over for 6 months and live in the dojo.
Yeah,
that's what
and Dragon Gate runs more shows than anybody in Japan. They run like a good 200 shows a year, so it's a much steeper workload curve.
It's a commitment. It's a very big commitment, and you have to travel a lot and work out a lot. So I hope they get some foreigners in soon. I think they will.
Oh, man, who would be good in Dragon Gate?
I have one. Titus Alexander. That's the one I kind of want to see.
That's a good one. I like that.
Him 6 months in the dojo. I don't think he will, because I think he's too big at this point. I think it's gonna be a lower tier guy just bursting onto the scene. If I'm
I'd be fine with any of the, thinking of like where Commander was like 2 years ago. Anybody kind of in that, like Aramis, I think would be awesome.
Would be a great one. Flamita, I think. Flamita.
I would love Flamita to come back. He's so good, and he just does nothing.
I think the GLEAT, it's like a big thing, but
yeah, that's true. He's in
Black Generation. Like their GLEAT's new GM. There's problems with him too. So it's
and the GLEAT's also poached 2 or 3 guys from Dragon Gate. So
the Ishida thing wasn't really a poach. That was more like okay, you got him, congrats. But
you're like a freak about it. They got Kazuma Sakamoto.
Oh, what a poach! He wasn't even in a contract.
All right, man.
But
also got like the strong hearts.
But that's a whole nother thing.
I know, Murph Burner. All right, y'all.
Beast of the week time.
It's that time. It's the time for the motherfucking beast of the week here.
We do a quick programming note before we start Beast of the Week. I'm not going to be here for the next 2 weeks because I'm graduating high school and going on vacation. So I will not be here the next 2 weeks. So actually, I think we might pre-record in 2 weeks, but next week I will definitely not be here because it's literally my high school graduation. So
yeah, next week it's going to be Jamie-san and I holding it down. We are going to review Dominion, which is so exciting. I'm really looking forward to that. And then we'll preview All Together, which is just a couple days later. So we have the full lineup for that. We'll get really in depth on that next week. Hopefully this time next week we're talking about Yota Tsuji winning that world title.
We should be able to run down that G1 lineup too. So
G1 lineup. Oh, we'll definitely get to time. Yes. I feel like I was messaging. We were in the Wrestle Purist group chat, and I was like, I feel like it's just been forever since a New Japan tournament lineup has like really impressed me. I was just spoiled. Like 27 to 2019, New Japan, the lineups were just like, wow, that's great. And they just haven't gotten to that. Obviously, the pandemic was a part of it, but now there's no excuses, right? So, okay, Jamie, we always start with you.
Okay.
Who last week is going to be your beast of the week?
Well, I was just about to say, so I have a few guys in mind. So can I request that I maybe go second or third, just to
Yeah,
save
that's
you?
fine.
But Jamie, I was
Maybe
going to
one
go
of you
to
take
two
my-
beasts of the
one of
week
my
this
picks.
week. So if you want to do two, I was planned on doing two. So you can do two.
Well, we have a collective one, right? That's a new thing we do here. We have the four.
Are you thinking? Are you guys thinking? Can we do Master Watto?
Yeah,
as our
I
collective
like that.
one?
I like that. He
That
was
works.
definitely one of mine. He feels like
okay.
he feels
Let's
like a
do
good fit.
Master Watto is going to be our collective one. I think that checks out and makes sense. All right. Okay, Jamie. Okay. All right. See, the thing is, I always just wait for you for this same reason. But no, my beast of the week, and I hope I'm not stealing this from Murph.
Mine's
guy-
like go out of left field, and you're not going to.
Okay, that's good. I'm not stealing it from you. I thought this guy was unbelievable in his match at Double or Nothing this past weekend. And I feel like I'm alone on an island in how much I loved this match. It was tough for me.
That dude, if it's who I think it is, then I was thinking about him.
I'm gonna go with Christian Cage.
I thought Wardlow. I was
well,
Wardlow.
either way, I mean they were both stellar
That match
in the match,
was awesome.
but Christian is, I mean, he's the guy. He lays all this stuff out. He literally, like, he lives the gimmick of the
Did
ladder
people not
match.
enjoy that match?
Genius. You just look on Cage Match. It's like a 6.6.
Dude, what? I gave it like 4.25. I thought it was.
That's
awesome.
that's exactly what I gave it. When I was watching it live, I was like, this match is incredible.
People are so weird about Wardlow. I don't get it. Like, he's just like, I don't know.
I don't really get it either. Like, people just kind of turned on him like 6 months
he's
ago,
like
and I
the
don't
same
really.
guy. He's just like,
Yeah.
you know, I don't know.
I don't think it was
anyway.
Yeah, I don't think it was like particularly his fault. He had like the TNT titles.
He got like
booking's not
hurt
been
and
great
like
for a while.
turned on. It was weird.
Yeah, I thought this match was so
stuff.
good, and I thought their planning and their effort and their hard work and their willingness to do these death-defying spots was incredible. So I'm going to go Christian Cage.
Right,
Christian's
I'll
just the
go.
man. He's just awesome.
Jamie, jump on in.
Right, I'll go. I probably could have gone next because my two that I had, the one that I thought someone might pick was Wato, but now that we have the collective thing, that's really that. I'm gonna do a slightly unpopular move for this podcast, and I am dipping my toe into WWE just for one beast of the week. My beast of the week. I'm sorry, but this guy had a pretty.
I considered what you're about to say. He was in my short list.
Dickhead.
Right.
No,
my beast of the week's Jimmy Uso.
Wait, what? I thought you were gonna say a Dragunov.
No.
Dickhead.
Jimmy Uso.
No.
Damn it.
It's Jimmy Uso.
You know he's a two-time Beast of the Week now. Damn you, Jamie.
Oh yeah, Monty picked him one time, didn't he?
That sucks. I thought you were gonna say Dragunov. I was so happy.
Oh yeah, 2 times. He's gonna be in the Dumb Guy Life Hall of Fame.
Jimmy Uso.
Jimmy Uso is my Beast of the Week for his destruction of the bloodline. It was just fucking amazing. I love
classic sports entertainment.
It was just good shit.
Melodrama. Yeah.
Are they, as much as we're not WWE guys here, that's a known thing, but the bloodline stuff has had it's had its fucking moments, and the Usos are absolutely the MVPs of the whole thing. And Jimmy right here, because obviously Jay was like he was like the main player, but Jimmy Uso, this was his moment. He turns on Roman Reigns. Jey Uso is like losing his shit as he always does. But I just thought it was a pretty beast moment. So Jimmy Uso.
Well, you see, my beast of the week usually is but going in this podcast, I was gonna do a ridiculous reveal again, where I just do something crazy, but like it'd be a wrestler. But now, since I don't have a camera, I'm just gonna do something ridiculous and make it more ridiculous to make up for the camera. My beast of the week has nothing to do with wrestling this week. My beast of the week is the new Liverpool director of football, George Shamat. Yes. George, honestly, for 2 reasons. Number one, this guy gets introduced. He says more words than Michael Edwards ever said. And we get linked to 2 young French midfielders. And also, I want Jamie to have to put George Shamadke in the Twitter post for Dumb Guy Live. So, yeah, our beasts of the week this week are Christian Cage, Jimmy Uso, Master Wato, and Liverpool Director of Football George Chamatki.
That's fucking amazing. I'm sorry, Parker. That's I can't wait to do the tweet. You know, that's
You're
what a
both
pick.
annoying. You're both children.
George
This is
Chamatki. Honestly, though, for this podcast,
my genuine
George
reaction
Chamatki-
to that information.
If you told me that we're gonna have a beast of the week and it's gonna fuck off, it's gonna be George Chamatki and Jimmy Uso, I would believe George Chamatki before WWE Jimmy Uso be our beast of the week. So honestly, I like the pick. It's a good pick.
Well, I'm glad you like the pick. The one that you made.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jeez. Now I'm just looking at these logos. Oh, we have a logo. Oh, we need to put up the fucking Wrestle Purist logo when we do this. Anyway, all right, everybody. That's gonna do it for us. Like I said,
Yeah, we should do
no
that.
Murph the next couple of weeks. So here's the plan, everybody. Listen up.
Actually, we're doing a pre-recorded. I'll be on
Hey,
in 2 weeks.
I was gonna say eyes up here, eyes up here, eyes up here. Everybody, okay. We're going to next week, like we said, reviewing Dominion, previewing all together. We'll have the G1 lineup. We'll get full reactions there. I'm sure there'll be some other shit that happens. We'll talk about it. I'm sure we'll get some Forbidden Door stuff as well. So we'll be on that grind next week. It'll be a very New Japan heavy show next week. The following week, 2 weeks from today, I can also not be on that show. So what we're going to do is we're going to pre-record something. So if you guys have ideas, if you want us to watch something retro, if you guys want us to do some kind of draft-like thing, like we'd love doing the Puro draft earlier in the year, if you have something like that you think would be fun for us to do, please let us know, like message us, tag us, whatever. We are open to ideas, and we are happy to do whatever the Dumb Guy fans want to do for that pre-recorded show. But let us know. We're open to suggestions here. All right. Okay, everybody. For Jamie, for Murph, that is going to do it for Dumb Guy Live this week. Thank you all so much for listening. We appreciate you being here. Oh, hold on. We got a super chat before I go. $1.99 super chat from Ricky Starks. My beast of the week is that
Shard
stud
Star.
Ibu.
Shard
Yes,
Star.
Ricky. That's right. Love it. All right.
Take a look inside your
yes.
heart. Is there any room for me?
Thank
Rashard
you.
Starks.
Thank you, Ricky. We appreciate it. I liked it when Jay White and Juice beat down Ricky on Dynamite this week, and then Jay White did the Ricky Starks pose with I thought that was very funny. Okay, all right. Goodbye, everybody. We love you. We will see you next time.
They don't.